I'm sure many of you have been there, right? You get hooked on a show, you watch one episode after another, and before you know it, you've lost your job, you've lost your friends, your relationship has fallen apart, if they're even there beside you on the couch at all. But what do any of these things have to do with The Walking Dead anyway?
I heard a lot of things before the world went to hell.
Well, as a culture, we like to binge view.
He watched so many French dramas that he seriously thinks he's French.
One of the people that helps feed that habit is Reed Hastings. He's the CEO of Netflix. That's the video streaming service that started out with a simple, dynamite idea. DVDs delivered to your house in the mail. Today, Netflix is an online powerhouse. More than 33 million subscribers worldwide, close to 2 million of those here in Canada, despite the fact that Netflix doesn't carry a ton of first-run theatrical movies or some of the big buzz shows like Game of Thrones.
It would be good to have you in the field. The competition has become a bit stale.
To make up for that, Netflix has branched into original content, shows like House of Cards and the revival of Arrested Development. Now Reed is predicting a new future for TV, one which, when it arrives, we may barely recognize. Please welcome to the show, Reed Hastings! How are things?
Thank you. Fantastic.
What a run!
It's been exciting.
Dude, look, I know you've thought about it, you must have, but even when I was thinking about this, from this DVD service, where you could get these movies mailed to you. Exactly. Where you wouldn't even have a late fee.
Yeah.
To suddenly you're a studio. Now, I mean, that is the strangest trip. And it's in a relative short period of time. Does it feel strange to you?
Oh, very much so. You know, I had a dinner with, some of our team recently, and we were just remarking of, can this really be happening? I mean, we spent so many years mailing DVDs in the US, that was our first business, to now, being able to work with this incredible talent, and it's just been so exciting.
What I find interesting about you, the way you conduct your business, is that when stuff doesn't work out, you apologize. You go out and say, I made a mistake and all that. What is that, the first time you had to go out there and say, sorry, this was wrong? And I remember the rate increase, right? And then you were like, well, forget about it. Like, what was that experience like for you as a boss when you're like, I have to go and own this?
Going through marriage counseling 20 years ago was really how I moved to become a better manager and leader.
Really?
And yeah, this marriage counselor was able to get me to see that I was often lying to myself and to my wife, saying, oh, family's the most important thing, and I'd stay at work all night. Yeah. And that the value of honesty is that people can take honesty, even if it's not necessarily what they want to hear, if it's really sincere.
When did it occur to you that, or did it occur to you directly that we need to start making our own programming? How'd that happen?
I have to say that's my colleague, Ted Sarandos, who really drove that. He's been in the content business his whole life, and he's like, look at HBO, we got to do this, we can do it better. And I'm like, we mail DVDs, Ted, what do we know? And he was like, well, you don't know anything, but I know some stuff about this. And I was like, okay, let's try it. And he picked House of Cards as his first thing.
$100 million is a gigantic first thing.
It is. It has been very scary. But, David Fincher and Kevin Spacey and Kate Mara, and
Robin Wright,
can you go wrong? Yeah. It would be hard to.
But here's the thing. You're right. In theory, can you go wrong? No, but in practice, many people have gone wrong. Yeah. Because it's just that hard to do, and it's almost that magical to get it right. So when that process started for you, what did you feel like when you were like, okay, well, here's what we're going to...
As it came together, I think I'm a natural optimist, perhaps foolishly so sometimes. So I was never panicked about it. It was like I was hearing, okay, the scripts are coming together. It's amazing. And then as the filming started, Ted would say, oh, my God, maybe I'm too close to it, but I think it's going to be really good. Mm-hmm. And then I remember when I saw the first couple episodes, and, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but like that opening scene with the dog, I'm like, whoa, this is not normal television.
That's wild, right?
Yeah, but if we're not creative enough, if we don't push it hard enough, we've got to have some failures. Right. And so we don't really want to have all hits. I'm really glad the first ones are hits. But, the sign that you're right at the edge of chaos, the edge of creativity, is that some stuff doesn't work.
Now, why do you want to be there? Because networks don't want to be there.
Life's short. Why we're doing this? We're like, we want to have a difference.
Right?
And so it's innate. It's wanting to push the edge, to create something that people are proud of and that they enjoy.
One of the
challenges that I have with anything, not just Netflix, I have it with anybody who makes me sign a user agreement without, I recognize I don't read them all, is we all wonder what happens with the data. And everybody thinks it's about data mining. So you guys have all this information, Apple has this information, Google probably has all of the information.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg probably falls asleep on the binary code and laughs at us. What are you doing with their data?
In our case, because we don't sell any advertising, we don't have ads on the website, and we don't have ads in the movies and TV shows, it's very simple because we don't use the data.
But you know what we're watching.
We know what you're rewinding, we know what you replay, what scenes you like, but
Totally doesn't sound friendly when you say it like that.
I know. But then those other 6 Canadians that, you know, are anonymous but are just like you will say, hey, I think you'll like this scene.
Okay, that's the thing. So you know when we're rewinding, you know when we stop, when we go back and rewatch a scene?
Yeah. Yeah, Strombo did this 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that.
So knowing what you know about what we watch and what we rewind, as a culture, are you optimistic about where we're going, or are you scared?
I am very optimistic about...
You were totally scared.
No, back to my honesty thing. I think we're gonna, you know, people are exploring more and trying new things, and you know, there's a lot of things that weren't possible 10 or 20 years ago in the storytelling side.
It's great to see you, man. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Chuck. Great pleasure.
Reed Hastings, CEO of Netflix. We'll be right back.